Well, hello there, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is one that I'm actually very curious about. It's going to be about our love life in 2025. I'm keeping this theme quite open for the moment, for I don't know very much where spirit wants to take us on this one. But yeah, we're gonna be looking at romance, obviously. That's gonna be the main focus. Singles out there, you're very much welcome. I don't know if we're gonna be picking up on other things, but yeah, that's gonna be the theme for this reading. So if that's something you're interested in, make yourself comfortable, make yourself at home. You already know. And yeah, just before we jump in, please, if you enjoyed this video, like it and subscribe so you don't miss out when I post new videos like so. And that would support me a lot. That being said, let's get to it. Okay, a little intervention here, as I know fewer people are likely to skip this moment of the video. We need to talk about the heck predictions, quote unquote, are, because I personally myself don't enjoy particularly making predictions. So I want us to be very much clear on what I call predictions, because some of you may not know, the majority of you that are watching this video do know that, but time is only linear for the experience of our mind, for the experience of us as humans on this world. The notion of future is not a thing, especially energetically. So when we're doing predictions, you understand that a lot of people have false ideas about that, and all too often what I end up noticing, the reasons why I don't naturally feel very drawn to making predictions on videos and even outside of videos is just because all too often I do notice people just giving their power away to the cards. Oh, if the card said it, and that's it. Or if something in the cards doesn't go the way that the person wants to hear them, then it's just not, all of a sudden it doesn't resonate. And on top of that, if a reader has made a prediction that doesn't happen, it means that the reader was wrong, right? All reasons to why I just find predictions to be not really worth it, more often than not. However, since I know that the people who watch my videos are people who vibrate at a similar frequency of mine, I feel inspired to make a predictions, but I want it to be clear what I mean by predictions, because yet again, the future, when we're doing predictions and really what's going on as any reader makes a prediction, we're not tuning in the future actually. What we're tuning into first and foremost is always your current frequency, and that is something you need to know. As in, what is currently your frequency? What is currently within the energy that your signature that you're emitting out into the world? If you're vibrating at the frequency of love, it's just a matter of time before love shows up everywhere in your life, including romantically. So that's one thing that we always look at when we say we're making a prediction. The energies that come through the cards are always your current energies, and how likely they are, how likely it is for you to be focused onto it so much so that it ends up manifesting. Do you get the difference than just saying, oh, that's just what's going to happen in your future? No, it's more, this is what's currently in your frequency. I can tell that you're very much focused onto that. So this is very likely to be manifesting. That's a prediction. Second thing that we look into, if the reader is a little more has their psychic channels open and quote unquote enough, I wouldn't know really how to describe it. We also look at, especially here, things like soul contracts, or what I like to call red lines, things that we know will happen anyways, no matter what you do. Just funny winks from the universe, just things that will happen no matter what path you choose to walk on. So these are more related to soul contracts generally. As a whole, I would call them this way. So this is another thing that we'll look into, but yet again, soul contracts, they're in the present, they're not in the future. See here again. Another thing is, but that's I'm not very much into that, at least so far. People tuning into parallel realities of the present, which in this timeline appears to be the future. And I feel like I've lost half of you in saying that. That is not what I'm familiar with anyways. But I want us just to be very much clear on what I call predictions, because I don't like this idea of just people going like whimsically coming to a reading and just saying, oh, the reader said that, so I feel good. It's like, no, it's within your power. Another thing which comes as a disclaimer is, for any kind of predictions, when it comes to a tarot reading, when it comes to a psychic, when it comes to anything, if you do not enjoy what is being said, and that being honest with yourself, you realize that although you don't enjoy it, it still resonates, that is an opportunity for you to ask yourself, okay, this is what I'm currently attracting. If I don't like it, that gives me the opportunity to actually figure out why. Why am I attracting something that I don't prefer? Well, that's the interest. But the whole point being, why would you get mad at the reader then? That is a little bit why, yeah, again, historically, I've never really been much of a fan of predictions. But since we're doing one today, since it feels good to do one today, I just want us to be on the same page. That being said, as you can see, today we got 4 groups to be choosing from, with 4 crystals that I'm gonna be presenting just after. As always, I'm going to be asking you to be tuning into your intuition, so as to let yourself feel into which pile you feel the most drawn to, or piles. Perhaps there are messages in more than one pile for you. Knowing that whichever pile you feel the most drawn to, trusting your intuition, is the one which is going to be holding the messages you're meant to be hearing right now. Okay? I'm also hearing if some of you come back to this video later in 2025, it could be fun to see if you're still gravitating towards the same pile or not. That's for a few of you, but that's if some of you enjoy going back to older readings. But yeah, that being said, for the pile, we got pile number 1 with the Tiger's Eye, a classic by now for those who've been here for a little bit. Pile number 2 with the clear quartz, pile number 3 with the rose quartz, and pile number 4 with the moss agate, which I hope in the post-prod won't appear as dark as it is right now on camera. So yeah, please take the time to tune into the pile you feel the most drawn to, pause the video if you need to, and once you have made your choice, you can fast forward directly to the timestamps, which I'll be providing down below, either in the description box or the pinned comment, so that you can fast forward directly to your reading, and I'm going to be seeing you there, okay? Hey pal number 1, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're curious about what's going on in your love life in 2025. If you're here, I'm assuming that's something you're curious in. If pal number 1, if you chose the Tiger's Eye, that's going to be your reading, and so we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with 1 or 2 oracle cards. I'm feeling inspired. This reading we're very much winging today, and I just feel like the card that I just randomly put below the crystal for your group is actually relevant. So we're gonna keep it this time. Just this time, okay? So we got the Koala Spirits, which is a very interesting card. And okay. Sure. And the Bobcat. I'm laughing because you can read on the cards the message, right? We got the Koala, the Bobcat, Spirit has a plan, life is a mystery. What the heck are we into for 2025 here, pile number 1? I just feel like something very unexpected. I feel drawn to pick up the tarot immediately. It just feels like the message pretty self-explanatory, so I'm gonna bring out the tarot immediately so that we're not gonna have an interruption after. We got the Emperor, got the Devil that flew out. Okay, I'm gonna be rearranging the cards after so that they all fit. The Ten of Swords, we like to see there. And the Knight of Cups. When you know the card, Spirit? Yes, no, it's not relevant, doesn't matter. Okay. Back of the deck's energies, we have Learned from the Past, the Elephant Spirit, and the Four of Wands, which I wasn't so much into bringing in the reading, but honestly, considering what we have here, it feels quite relevant at this point. So, that's not so many cards, but I just feel like it's pretty straightforward, so we don't need much. Koala and Bobcat. There is, well, before we talk about these cards, overall, like the frequency I'm immediately picking up on, especially with the back of the deck energies, which are beautiful confirmations for that. You've been going through a lot, pile number one, and I'm sorry for that. You're the kind of person who's had a lot on their plate when it comes to relationships, I'm hearing, and love. Self-love may have been a bit of a struggle. I feel that it was something a little, that you perhaps were a little unfamiliar with that in the past. But that is all because of the fact that you've been through relationships that intimate relationships in which you were, I feel like, abused in ways. I just feel like you've gone through a lot of abuse in your relationships. And this may be referring very well to past romantic relationships, since that's the main topic. I'm very well hearing that it's also dealing with like childhood stuff that is coming up to the surface, honestly. And don't get me wrong, although it feels like sometimes it's unrelated, the relationships we had with our parents kinda sets us onto a certain path, especially when we're not necessarily questioning it when it comes to our future romantic relationships. The relationship we're going to develop with men is the one which is very likely to be reflecting at first the one we had with our father, the one with women, the one we had with our mother. It's stupid, but we're aware of that here, very much aware of that. And yeah, I can tell that there's been a lot of work on your behalf. I can tell that this is a topic you're perfectly aware of. That's why I felt so comfortable explaining it and just saying it casually, because it's like you're very much aware of that thing. And yet again, it's like, yeah, you know your story. You very well know your story around intimacy, I'm hearing, which is definitely something which started in childhood and being indicated here. So first of all, I gotta say I'm sorry, because I can tell it wasn't the funniest. I'm also noticing that 35 adds up to an 8 in numerology. We got both 8s, so that's fun. What I'm hearing is it's shifting. There is this sensation, honestly, the oracle cards purposefully want us to feel like a lot of mystery, a lot of, these hand movements, like, oh my god, we don't know what's going on. Because I just feel like we are not very familiar with this level of intimacy and connection that we are experiencing. I'm very much feeling that for most of you, pile number one, and I don't know if it's the case for the entirety of the viewers throughout the piles, but I'm definitely feeling that more here, that most of you are coming to this video as singles. Those of you who aren't singles, it's definitely, well, first of all, take what resonates and leave the rest, because there's definitely a place for those who aren't single, who are in a relationship already. I just want you to know that may not be talking so much about those who are into a relationship, because I just feel like those who are in a relationship will understand what's meant for them very easily, very clearly. Those who are in a relationship is very obviously a deepening of their relationship. But the most interesting thing I'm feeling called to, where the energy is flowing the most right now, is for those who are single. So again, for those who aren't single, take what resonates, don't force anything in that would defeat the purpose of the message. And also, if it doesn't resonate, make yourself the favor of seeing if another group resonates, or if it's just not the video for you, don't waste your time. But anyway, that being said, they need to come through. Now we got like all the bases to the card. You have done a lot of work, a huge monumental amount of work on yourself. It feels very much like self-improvement when I say it this way, but it was very much not the point of it. It was a lot of work of you just wanting to be happy, you wanting to invest in you feeling good. And it started as you wanting to improve your relationships with the people around you. It very quickly shifted towards just you being able to feel the love within yourself. And I feel that you're the kind of person who is very focused onto themselves currently, not in a self-centered way at all, but more because you understand that life only gets as good as you feel within. That is something which is very clear here too. And when it comes to romantic relationships, that's no different. The romantic relationship, the people that you're calling in romantically, I feel like you're very aware, pile number one, you know that the quality of your romantic relationship is going to be very much correlated to how deeply in love you fell with yourself, which, I mean, we know that here very much apparently, but that's very much what it is, you know. It only gets as good as you feel within, more often than not. And what I'm being presented here is a lot of exciting news for you, because you're typically my kind of group who came, pile number one, you came to this reading like feeling a little whimsical and like, oh my god, I don't know, it feels exciting and everything. And what I'm hearing is, no, you're in for a good thing. You're in for a big thing this year, but it's gonna take you by surprise, because the amount of depth, the depth of the connection and the nature of the intimacy is something you have not experienced. It's something that you don't know it exists in such a beautiful way. It just feels like such a relief tuning into this frequency. It's like, finally, you knew down in your heart that there is love in this world, that there is love within you, that you are love, and you fought for it for years, I'm hearing even, but you never really saw it outside of you all that much. And now it's coming. It feels new, weirdly familiar, because it's the kind of love we've been cultivating within ourselves. It's the kind of love that we know we are, but it feels new because we haven't seen it outside of us yet. And in 2025, that's very much what's happening. I'm hearing is a relationship, specifically one relationship. There could be many relationship, I'm hearing there could be many opportunities. There could be a few relationships throughout the year. It's possible, very much depends on what you're into. What I'm hearing is I'm specifically tuning into one relationship here with someone that, and it's just like between the two of you, there's something that you hadn't seen before, and it just feels so refreshing, so good. And it also brings a lot of answers to your past. It just feels like such a healing relationship as well. Such a healing relationship. Can you see? Oh yeah, you can see them all, right? The tarot cards, but it's like, it's just so good. It just feels like this, through this relationship, you understand how worth it was to put in all the work that you put in, and you realize that it wasn't, that you were right all along. The right answer for you was to be focusing on to loving yourself all along. And Spirit has a plan, life is a mystery. It's just indicating me that, yeah, it's just, as this relationship starts, you're just gonna be, your mind's gonna be so blown away that you're just gonna see like the irony of our world. You're gonna realize that no, through this relationship you discovered that all you went through actually had a purpose. It taught you much. He taught you a lot about yourself. And I just feel like, yet again, it's like this relationship is coming out of nowhere, honestly. It's just, that's why it's like, life is mysterious, but I'm also I almost read like life is beautiful. It's just, I'm getting this sensation of you meeting this person in a way that you could have never seen coming in a million years, in a completely unexpected place, at a moment where you were not focused onto that at all. That was not why you were at this place, at this moment. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just hearing here as well, like when the timing is right, everything unfolds effortlessly. But again, it's like in the way that this relationship appears into your life, in the way it sticks into your life, in the way it unfolds and evolves, there's just so much healing and so much confirmation and understanding of why you experience what you experience, and a lot of self-understanding, as in, yeah, you were right all along. I'm hearing it again. So this is by itself just so beautiful. I'm hearing that this relationship specifically is like, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good. It's one of the good ones. It's the kind of person that, it almost feels that it's the kind of person who doesn't necessarily matches your type at first, because you thought you had a type in mind. Oh yeah, this is the typical kind of person that I tend to be attracted in. And yet this person comes in and you realize that no, you're actually much more into that kind of person that you hadn't seen, that perhaps you had never thought of. It just feels like, again, a big surprise, but one that just feels so right, honestly. So and one which feels effortless, especially compared to what we had before. So that is one thing. Leo's side, for those who are in a relationship already, although I feel like we don't have any more of them. Oops. I feel that, yet again, as I said earlier, it's like a deepening of the relationship, definitely rediscovering each other in deeper, more meaningful ways. Yeah. Through the tarot, what we're having is very interesting frequencies, honestly. First of all, I want to start with the devil and the 10 of swords that we have in the middle. The devil is our shadows. The devil is all that we don't like about ourselves. The devil also has another message that I'm gonna come to just after, but I'm definitely feeling that this relationship is deeply healing for you. It's a relationship where you feel genuinely accepted and loved for the things that you would have prior tended to feel ashamed about. It's like the very thing you felt ashamed of, the very thing that you may feel still a little uncomfortable about, may actually be the very things that they are into about you the most, I'm hearing. And it's just, again, like such a healing relationship because they're bringing such a new perspective on things that you were used to only seeing one way that was not very pleasant. But there's a lot of accepting of the shadows, and as such a lot of healing coming with the devil here. So that is one beautiful thing. It feels like a very healing, deeply healing relationship. The 10 of swords in and of itself is like, it's the end. This card just screams out to me, it's the end of a freaking battle. Like, just look at the picture on this card. 10 of swords, and the swords, the late sword suit in general, is not all that beautiful to look at more often than not because it deals with like painful stuff. The 10 of swords just says it's the end. Oh yeah, there's been a battle, there's been a lot of losses, but we're standing proud and we know it's the end. It's the end of it. It's like, okay, we took a few beatings, we've learned our lessons. This relationship marks the beginning of something new, you know, and so that is very powerful, very beautiful, and like such a sigh of relief. Honestly, it's like, no, that's the end, we're moving on. The ways we were used to relate to one another, the styles of relationships we were used to, especially in regards to intimacy, we know they were not healthy, we know we did not enjoy them, we have let go of them. That's it. We have this relationship, which is a manifestation, a proof that we have changed, that we're no longer the same, that we're not going to settle for less than. And that card is just the confirmation of that, honestly. The Emperor. What can we say about the Emperor? The Emperor definitely deals with the divine masculine. So for some of you, there's a definitely, for some of you who may have grown up with wounds around the masculine, that's definitely coming into play here. Like a masculine in the relationship may be you or them, or both, really. Just being mirrored and healing and being owned and being accepted. Oh, okay. A masculine being accepted. There is a wound around a masculine that was not accepted. A masculine that in the past, prior to this year, very likely to be about childhood, but it could also have expressed itself through previous relationships for those of you who are into men. A masculine that, yeah, was harmful. A masculine that was wounded, a masculine that was not in their divine, a masculine that did a lot of stuff that we wish we were not around to witness. Not an empowered masculine at all, one that didn't feel good. And in this relationship, we're getting to experience the opposite. Why? Because we have taken the time to accept it within us. To, again, I'm getting again this feeling of there's been much work put in, especially in 2024. So the masculine throughout this relationship is just so beautiful, and it just, here again, like such a sigh of relief because it feels so good, honestly, especially in contrast to what we had prior. And because the masculine is seen for what it is seen in its divine, and is accepted as such. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. It really feels like it's safe for whomever it's relevant to in the relationship to be a man, or to be displaying the masculine characteristics. Because I'm just getting the sensation that for some of you, there may not be any man involved in the relationship, but the masculine has its place, it's recognized, it's accepted, it's healthy. So the relationship feels that much better. So that's one thing. Another thing with the devil, a lot of physically intimate intensity. I don't know. I've never had anything with this, but YouTube is not very fond of things which Christianity is not fond of. So I cannot use the word, but you know what I mean when I say physical intimacy in bed. The devil deals with that too. So there is a lot of passion, a lot of physical passion. Not only physical though, as we've discussed, it feels like it's running much deeper. But yeah, a lot of passion in bed as well. So that is something to be looking forward, I feel. I'm also getting a transversal message. It just feels like the two of you, it honestly feels like, especially when I look at those eyes, almost as if you're recognizing each other. It's like, falling in love at first glance. I don't know. It's just one of you two could be falling in love at first glance, but what I'm getting definitely is that there is going to be a sense of familiarity between you two. Perhaps some of you know this person already. That is a possibility, but more so, it just feels like there's a sense of familiarity, as if you would tell that you had known each other in a past life and you were already married in a past life. Perhaps perhaps that's the thing, but but what I'm getting is there is a sense of almost a sensation of recognizing oneself, and keeping past lives aside, there's definitely this sense of you recognizing yourself in them and vice versa, because you energetically are much more similar than the people that you got to know prior. So here again, it's like a nice change of pace, and as well, like, it feels different, it feels like healing, it feels deep, and it feels intimate. And the Knight, I mean, I love that card. The Knight of Cups is very much like the romance guy in this deck, so I love that. It's like almost like wearing, I'm thinking when I see like what they're wearing, it feels like someone wearing the tragedy costumes for performing a tragedy on stage, holding a rose, like, oh my god, no, you pierced my heart, thing like that. It just feels so passionate, so romantic. Not tragic at all, by the way. I use that as an example. I'm not getting anything tragic about this relationship, quite the opposite. But there is very much this sense of deep passion, deep creativity. Through this card, I'm also getting, especially since we're talking about cups, a lot of the feminine also. Like, this relationship feels like free-flowing. It feels good. It feels like the two of you are not so much about just going and going and going and doing and doing and doing. There is this which is accepted, but it feels healthy again. It's like there's a healthy masculine, so there isn't this hostile kind of energy here. There's also very much the energy of just enjoying chilling on the couch, doing nothing for an entire evening kind of energy here. So that is very cute, especially if that's what you're into. But yeah, it just feels so romantic, so passionate, so creative as well. It feels very, very good, I'm gonna be honest. And it feels very attractive. There is a lot of chemistry between the two of you, so that is something. But again, I feel like this chemistry is gonna come out of the blue. Like, you may not realize that this is someone who's caught your eye at first, and yet here they are. Only two for this one. This one. Oh, that's an... Huh. Spirit, what do you mean with that one? Move beyond intention to believe your past support your future. Okay, I got something. Well, first of all, changes. I think that's pretty self-explanatory here. Just a confirmation is like especially like with the image, we're breaking cycles. We are moving on. You have done the work. You know it. We're done with it. That's it. Forget about it now. We're opening up to new relationships. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, by the way, I was looking to the numerology 8 and 8, very abundant relationship in any ways that feel relevant and good to you. It may also be financially, but it feels like a very abundant relationship, so that is also a nice thing. Changes because, as we've already said, I think many times throughout the reading, is like it's very much different. It's what you need, it's what you want, it's yours, you deserve it. And it's very different from what you have experienced so far. Move beyond intentional, but that's the card that got me a little bit of a hiccup because I'm like, I don't I don't get it. It feels like it deals with the belief, as in some of you may have been moving through the dark for so long that some of you may have lost a little bit of faith. You know, it's like this reading, it feels good, it feels very much what we want, and yet it feels like, oh yeah, but I wish it was true, but it's a little hard for me to believe it because it feels a little too good to be true compared to what I'm used to. And that feels like a very specific message, yet a very relevant one. Is like, the fact that you don't believe in your good fortune because you've been used. I get it. Okay, I understand that. That which Spirit wants you to know, that which I want you to know, is even though you may not believe in that, you may at least be honest with yourself. This relationship is the kind that you want, is the kind that your heart has been yearning for a while, and you have been putting so much work so as to open up to it, to make yourself more and more comfortable with it. I feel that by this time is just fair for you to realize that you just deserve it. You know, it's a matter of just realizing that you deserve it. You may not believe in it. You may choose not to think too much about it because it feels a little triggering for some of you. Okay, I get it. You still deserve it, honey. You deserve it. It's your time. Okay? And even though you may not believe it, that's okay. If it feels a little bit of a stretch for you to tune into, that which I want you to know is just, I want you to see how far you've come when it comes to love, how far you've come from relationships where you had to normalize like bad behaviors, harmful, abusive behaviors, to actually caring about how you feel, to actually focusing on to what it feels to you to love yourself, to be focused onto yourself, which is, I feel, something that wasn't always the case in your life. You've gone very far. And as I was explaining in the little apartheid that I had during the pause selection at the very beginning, I'm receiving the message as in almost, I don't care whether you believe it or not. That's your frequency today, honey. You have put in the work to open up to loving yourself right, to be authentic, to be truthful, and to not settle for less than. And it's been a journey. We had the 10 of Swords. It's been a freaking journey. Whether you want it or not, that's who you are today, and it's more than fair that life reflects back to you that which you are, which is a person in which you recognize yourself, honestly. Which is a person which shares these characteristics that feel so good because these are characteristics you got with them. Oh yeah, that person is so attractive, so romantic, blah blah blah, because so are you. You know, that's what I'm getting, is like, you don't believe it. It's okay. I feel a lot of compassion for you. We understand where you come from here. I just want you to know that whether you believe it or not, you cannot deny who you are today. And who you are today is attracting. Who you are today is very much about that. So it's just a matter of time. Maybe you don't want it this year because, oh, it feels too big. We're going to be tragic for a little bit now. Oh my God, it feels too good to be true. I don't want that, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you're going to get it as soon as you stop your tantrum, it's going to fall into your lap. Why? Because we are constantly manifesting 24/7 that which we are, our unique frequency. Today, your frequency is that, so that's coming to your life, whether you like it or not. That being said, thank you so much for having shared space with me today. That was a lovely reading, a deep reading too. There were some like vulnerable parts coming up to the surface, so I really do hope that it was helpful and exciting as well, because the energy was very much beautiful. Please let me know down in the comments how it went for you, if it resonated, what are your thoughts. I'd love to read about them, I'd love to connect with you. But yeah, I'm wishing you all the best. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That would support me a lot. And yeah, I wish you a happy new year. And yeah, till my next video, take care. Bye. Hey there, pal number 2, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're excited about the upcoming year, about what's going on in your romantic energy or whatever. I hope you're curious about that. I hope you're doing great. If pal number 2, if you chose the clear quartz, that's going to be your reading. And so we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with 1 or 2 oracle cards from this beautiful deck. And we're going to see what pops up. And we have this one. Interesting. As well as this one. You. Okay. Truth transcends illusion as a back of the deck energy. What can we say? There is definitely the energy of getting electrified this year. So that is fun. Take the lead. It very much feels like a year where you're focused onto yourself. Pile number 2, some of you may not necessarily be interested so much into a lifelong commitment. I'm feeling as of right now. We're not taken out of context. I mean, I just feel like some of you just want to have a little bit of fun. They're not necessarily some of you are not necessarily looking for like deep connections. Some of you are more looking for like casual connections, things like that. Because what I'm getting is I wouldn't be surprised if some of you just end up being in multiple relationships throughout the year, one after another, or at the same time. I don't know, you do you. But there's this idea of just being focused onto yourself and perhaps wanting to explore different things. So that's the thing, because like the electric eel spirit, there's this energy of getting electrified, there is this idea of passion, of the thrill, of the butterflies in the stomach, of the enjoying having a crush on somebody, and take the lead from the stag spirit. Is very much like feels you like you enjoying starting a relationship. Those relationships is very much this masculine take the leader kind of energy of someone just wanting to have fun. It very much feels the focus for you this year, like just having fun throughout your relationships. Maybe one, maybe multiple. May you be looking for more of a committed relationship, or may you be looking for just casual ones. Everything's fine for as long as it's consented, you know. But what I'm getting is that it's very much focused onto you having fun, honestly, and meeting up with people who are also here to have fun. There's this sense of not taking things too seriously. That's why I was getting originally this energy of perhaps you may not be looking into something super serious. Some of you may be, but even if you're looking into something serious, something with also some of you that may already be in a committed relationship, perhaps, there's still this idea of just not wanting to take things seriously, and just you knowing that relationship works best and is the funniest when everybody's focusing onto, well, ensuring that they're feeling good, you know, the opposite of being codependent, not being independent either. It's just like being happy to be you and just enjoying your time, I feel. I feel like I'm missing a few things, so we're gonna bring out the tarot cards immediately. Yeah, there's very much this energy of getting electrified, being excited. We got the Empress, which is fun. We had the Emperor in the previous group. Only one, yeah. The Queen of... Whoop. Okay, one second. One card just fell. Got a lot of water so far. Too still. One last one. Which one? This one. Okay, a lot of feminine energy. Whoa. Okay. So we ended up getting for the tarot the Empress, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Page of Cups, as well as the Queen of Pentacles. No, wait. You don't see them here. Okay, good. A lot of feminine energy, definitely. But it feels like an empowered feminine because it's a feminine which is displaying also masculine characteristics of leadership. Again, like each time this in our society, I feel like each time this topic arises, we need to have a little chit chat about it, masculine and feminine. I'm talking about the polarities. I'm talking about the energies. I'm not talking about your gender. Every single human has got both masculine and feminine within. We all have both a mind and a heart. Thank God, by the way. It would be a little difficult with just one or the other. But so yeah, when I'm talking about masculine, I'm talking about masculine characteristics. I'm not talking about a gender, okay? Just to make it clear that we're all on the same page. There is very much this idea that, yeah, this year you are embarking on a journey of self-exploration, and that this self-exploration is also appearing through your romantic life. So the Empress, very much like divine feminine energy. Someone being comfortable being in their feminine, but also someone who is open to receiving, someone who is creative, someone who is birthing new projects, new ideas. There is yet again this idea of passion here. Queen of Cups, here we're dealing with someone who's very much in tune with their emotions, their inner world, their intuition as well. Someone who's very much into like balancing, like we got like the two koi fish at the bottom, one black, one white. It's making an obvious symbolism referencing like the yin yang. There's this idea of calm and peace. The Four of Cups deals with an energy of withdrawal, someone like taking themselves out of the picture, and I feel that that's perhaps something that you used to do. And getting a bit of a backstory, as in perhaps in the past you were more a little more uncomfortable with who you were. Perhaps you were dealing with some insecurities, some self-worth issues, things like that, and so you would have withdrawn a little bit from this area of your life. Perhaps it felt a little dry for a while because you were more focused onto like feeling good about yourself, and you didn't feel necessarily very comfortable like putting yourself out there with when it comes to romance and relationships of that kind. But and as a result, I feel that this year is very much the opposite, where not only are you coming out, but you're coming out like through a different energy. It's not just I'm coming out for the heck of it. It's I'm getting to know myself. That's why I guess it makes more sense now that we had more of a masculine twist to it, of a I'm taking the lead, I'm seeing how these relationships can serve me. And I don't want us to get like the wrong message, because it to some it may feel a little self-centered, but that's very much not what I'm getting here. It's more like one using relationships for the sake of having fun, sure, but also for the sake of getting to know themselves, It's like how can this relationship serve you? Because at the end of the day, it's very much why we enter in a relationship at first. It's like we enjoy that, there is something there that we would like to see for ourselves. Not gonna lie, there's a bit of a weird frequency that I'm struggling to translate. When I keep on with the tarot, when I see where we end up, the Page of Cups is giving of this energy of a new beginning. Here again, yet another reference to our emotions, our inner world. So continuing with this idea of one having withdrawn for a while and now they're coming out with this new almost like mission, this new desire to be getting to know themselves more, to be going forward, to be growing as a person, to be falling in love with themselves deeper. And here the Queen of Pentacles, I'm not gonna lie, I just feel like some of you are not so much into romantic relationships at all this year. It's like, yeah, it feels, the idea feels good, but it just feels like it's not your main focus. It very well could not be. And I feel like it still could be happening, but that's why I was immediately from the start I was getting this energy of a little bit more like someone focusing on to where they want to be bringing their lives towards, what do they want to do with their lives, and romantic relationships just coming into this bigger picture. I just don't feel like you're very much all that focused onto romantic relations. Although I see that it's a part of it. If you so desire, that's going to be a part of 2025, definitely. But that's why I was feeling like some of you may very well be much more into this casual kind of energy. You're not looking necessarily, not all of you are looking for something super serious, or more looking for something like fun. Um, because it just feels that that's not the main focus for you right now. That's not the thing that excites you, that drives you the most. The Queen of Pentacles, yet another feminine energy, but this one is very much like focused onto, well, the Pentacles, which is our physicality, our foundations. And I would give it more of a queen which is much more focused onto their connection with nature. It's not so focused onto other people, and that's the overall energy I'm getting, is like someone who may have withdrawn in the past because perhaps they grew up with some insecurities that are very likely to have been caused by other people, may just be our childhood environment or just past previous relationships. And so we've withdrew because we didn't feel comfortable in this area anymore. And we've put in the work to get to know ourselves, and now we're realizing that actually the thing that we want the most is to get to know the most important person in our life, which is ourselves. And it's very much the energy I'm hearing is like, I'm just feeling that you are very focused onto getting the truest and deepest love of your life this year, which is you, not someone else. Other people will appear, because the more you fall in love with yourself, the more the people around will start reflecting that. The people that will come into your life will be people who reflect you, how lovable you are. So that's why I'm getting like, no, people were definitely going to be part of the picture, but it doesn't feel the focus, honestly, of this reading. To my biggest surprise, I was feeling a little thrown off at the beginning because I just hadn't considered this possibility. But yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting here. So if that's very much not you, perhaps that's not a reading for you then. Just want to throw out there, but it feels like, just being honest, it just feels like someone who's like, oh yeah, in 2025 I'm just gonna I'm gonna be experiencing the love of my life, and I'm gonna be having a beautiful romantic relationships. But honestly, being honestly honest, when we sink a little deeper, I genuinely feel that truthfully that's not so much what you're looking for. It's like, relationships may happen and you're going to be enjoying them, but what you're looking for is yourself, honestly. And that is, it just feels like, honestly, nearly a theme for you of 2025, just exploring all that you are and having fun with all that you are and falling in love with yourself. I still love reading, after all, but getting to appreciate yourself, getting to enjoy perhaps your femininity, because it seems to be a big thing here too. Like, perhaps I just feel that you have a strong feminine, whether you're a man or a woman, and that you're exploring that, you're honoring that, perhaps something that wasn't honored so much in the past, something that was like kept a little more in the closet. It just feels like, it just gives me the energy of like strong, independent woman. And I know there are a lot of like, this idea of strong, independent woman is not necessarily, when you dig into it, is not necessarily something which is so beautiful, because it kind of gives the energy of a wounded masculine behind it, of a feminine who doesn't really know how to allow herself to be in her feminine, and so who feels like she has to be the man, which is not healthy more often than not, unless that's how you feel. But the people who qualify themselves as strong, independent women, they're generally not qualifying themselves out of deep joy, from what I've noticed. But what I'm getting here is very much like someone who's just enjoying their life. And yeah, someone who's focusing on to falling in love with themselves. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, these are beautiful energies, powerful energies, I'm not gonna lie. The Empress, I didn't even mention the Empress here, is like very powerful feminine energies who are very focused onto their connection with the world, their connection with the universe. Not necessarily as much with the connection with other people, though. That's what I'm getting at. Is someone getting to know their intuition, their inner world, someone enjoying how life unfolds around them, creating a life that feels right for you, creating a life that feels good, receiving the blessings and the abundance of the universe, following your creativity. There is genuinely, I feel, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, a lot of joy this year. And in this picture, romantic relationships come in just as something to spice it up. That's what I'm getting at. If that's not what you're into, take it as it resonates then. But I'm definitely feeling that, yeah, in this context, the relationships, they're just for you to choose, honestly. You do not feel very much like settling for anything because you feel unworthy. And so any relationship that presents itself, you say yes to because you're afraid that you may never be in a relationship. No, it's very much the stag energy of, I have different propositions, I have different offers. I know that several people have hooked up on me. I know that my lines have caught up multiple fish. Well, I'm gonna choose what I want. It's like you have the choice, you get to choose. And honestly, I feel that this year you're choosing that which is fun, that which is passionate, but you're not so much looking for a deep relationship in the sense that you want to build something with someone else as much more feels like that you're wanting to build something deep with yourself, getting to know yourself. I hope it makes sense. I'm gonna bring like one or two final oracle cards. That's a very, very interesting pile, not gonna lie. Spark of Hustle. We yet again have this sensation of the destruction of shiny things. I feel like I was sacred giggles. It's like, yeah, again, I feel like some of you came to this reading hoping like for me to say that, to tune into like the fact that you were meeting the love of your life. And I just feel like some of you, I feel like some egos may be a little frustrated because it's like, yeah, but I want it to be like my dream woman, my dream man, or anything, or something like that. It's like you are meeting your dream partner, but it's you. And I feel like it's gonna be so worth it. Perhaps today you may be like, yeah, but I wish that my dream person was someone else, and that will come. But I just feel like this year, the thing which will bring you the most amount of excitement, the most amount of joy, the most amount of love, the most amount of fulfillment is falling in love with yourself. The more and I don't want it to be saying it as in you have to do that before you have the right to meet the person of your dreams, if that's what you're looking into. What I'm saying is, as you fall in love with yourself, you become more authentic, that much more attractive. That's just a byproduct of it. You radiate love as a natural consequence. The more you fall with yourself, the more you will realize that meeting the right person for you is automatic. It's not even something you have to think about. So that's more what I'm wanting for you to be into. I'm not, to those of you who are like, I wanted 2025 to be like the year where I finally meet the man or the woman of my dreams, which I'm not excluding. What I'm being indicating here through the cards that Spirit wants to put a big emphasis on is, this is not a focus. You meeting the person of your dreams is going to be a byproduct of you falling in love with yourself. So at first, that's what's going to appear. At first, it's going to be you falling in love with yourself and just enjoying casual relationships. And you will notice that although you thought that the most amount of joy you would get from meeting the person of your dreams, you will actually enjoy your time like nobody else. I'm feeling. It's gonna bring you so much like happiness and joy. Like we got like yet another spark. It's like, it's electric, it's sparkly, it's fun, it's joyful, it's passionate. It just feels like someone coming back to life, honestly. So it just feels very, very good. And destruction of shiny things, I just feel like you're just enjoying in the not having to think about everything so much, not having to be so hard on yourself, just being gentle, just letting things go and letting yourself indulge in just simple pleasures. And just allowing yourself to be a human being, allowing yourself to live, allowing yourself to have a good time. It just feels like this, and that feels like in 2025, at least for the first part of it, is what is going to be bringing you the most amount of joy that you could be hoping for at this moment. Meeting the person of your dreams. Again, I want you to understand that meeting the person of your dreams, someone who loves you right, someone who understands you, someone who is someone you genuinely feel a deep compassion, why compassion? No, that you feel a deep connection with, is a natural consequence of you falling in love with yourself. As you feel deeply connected with yourself, as you love yourself, as you enjoy yourself, you will meet people who enjoy that too. That's just energy, honey. Okay, so that's, I'm just being told by spirits, like, it's not something you should be focusing on right now. If that is some of your concern, is your ideal partner, if again that's something you're looking into now, is coming. But it's honestly like, the less you think about it, the faster it'll come to you. Because right now, the fun is not with the dream partner. Oh, that's definitely coming, but not today. That's not the most fun thing that you could be experiencing right now. That's why I just feel like your soul is setting up for this kind of journey. So yeah, I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for for sharing space with me today. Yeah, again, I hope it was helpful, because I feel like there was a bit of an incomprehension overall through this reading on my behalf, definitely, because I thought that I had understood, and in fact I hadn't, and I realized it more towards the end. For some of you as well, who I feel like came looking for something, actually felt like they were being told off, which is not the case. So I just hope it was beneficial in any way, shape, or form, that it was relevant for you. And yeah, I wish you the absolute best. Please let me know in the comments how it went for you, if it resonated. What are your thoughts about it? Lots to be discussed about. I'm not gonna lie about this pile. I'd love to be like connecting with you through the comments. Also, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. That would support me a lot. But yeah, if I don't have the occasion to tell you that since then, Happy New Year, enjoy 2025. I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care and enjoy your time. Bye. Hey there, pal number 3, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're excited about 2025. I hope you're excited about the topic of today. If pal number 3, if you chose the rose quartz, this little heart buddy, that's gonna be your reading, and so we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna begin with 2 oracle cards, 1 or 2, likely 2, and we're gonna start off of the big beasts that we got, and we got back of the deck energy, take a leap of faith from the grasshopper. There is the sensation of you considering something that feels risky, honestly, because these 2 cards to me like feel reassurance of, hey, it's gonna be all right. So I'm like, what are you considering? Some of you who are already in a committed relationship, perhaps you are considering like going further with it, deepening the relationship. And that is these 2 cards, like the buffalo and the whale, are beautiful confirmation of, yes, do that. If it feels right, do it. For you will be provided for, you'll be supported. And just trust your intuition, trust your desires, trust your heart, for it already knows where you're meant to be going. So that feels like a confirmation for those who are already in a relationship. For those who are in a relationship, I'm just asking you, like, what the heck are you considering? Because somehow you need reassurance with something when it comes to romance or your love life. But I'm like, what do you need reassurance with then? It's like, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, there's a sense of fear emanating with you, pun number 3. Perhaps the tarot are going to help us like put a finger onto it just after. But it's like straight off the bat, it's like you are within good hands, I'm hearing. Just like the buffalo, both the buffalo and the whale are just, they're huge animals. Okay? They're big. And I'm generally getting that, I'm getting this feeling of you are within good hands. There are powerful forces, way more bigger than you, which are at work behind your back, working in your highest interest. So it's like there's nothing to be afraid of. It's like nothing bad will happen. No worries. You can relax. You can chill. And that whatever endeavor you choose to do is like you're gonna be supported with it. Oh, I'm hearing divorce for some reason. Some people being afraid because they just feel like they want to divorce, but they are afraid for what's coming after. Trust the Great Mystery is just indicating me that whatever you're considering right now in your love life, if it feels right to you, then it's the right thing to do. It sounds stupid, but that's very much how we are designed as humans. It's like we're well done. Our machines are very well designed. Our heart and our intuition already know what is meant to be. So if it feels right in your heart, then do it. It can bring up a lot of fears, but again, like the universe will provide. You are supported, you are protected, you're safe. Whatever you're considering, you're good to go. Okay, that's a confirmation that needed to be heard for some reason. Someone needed to hear it. Something that needs to be known. Now I'm wanting to bring out immediately the tarot cards because I'm like, what the heck are we talking about? Either there's something I'm missing, which could very well be, or we're picking up on like some of you pile 3, like pile 3, you could be my group with a lot of people coming with a lot of like in a lot of different situations. I feel like I'm immediately picking up that some of you may be in a committed relationship. Some of you, again, a very small fraction, but still could be considering like breaking up. So, and yet others of you are singles. So it's like we got a little bit of everything on this call. Only 3 cards, Spirit. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go with that. We got the Strength card as the back of the deck energy. I'm gonna keep it on this side so that I don't forget because it feels relevant too. What I got going on? Yeah, it feels like you're considering it a tough choice. It's like a choice that behind the Strength card we got the 7 of Pentacles, which is like investing for someone for you to be happy in the now, but also in the future. It just feels like you're considering something that you find risky in your love life. For some reason, maybe to propose to somebody, maybe to the exact opposite, like considering divorce, maybe to asking someone out and just feeling very, very scared. That's okay, we get it. Very scared of asking someone on a date. There's just this feeling of, yeah, like you're considering something that feels like it's triggering a lot of fear within you. And the Strength card, it just indicates me that honestly, you're doing pretty darn good. The Strength card, I'm getting here that although you have different choices available to you, the one that you're feeling the most drawn to and the one is the one that actually feels the most right to you. And again, we already had this thing popping up of following one's intuition and heart. So I genuinely feel that you're the kind of person who knows how to honor their innate knowing, their innate wisdom, who knows what's right for them. And you choosing to go for what you know to be right, despite the environment telling you otherwise, is strength in and of itself. That is power. For someone to choose to do what is right for them, despite what other voices around may be saying. Perhaps because other people around are scared to do what you may be considering today. Perhaps you're asking, the person you're wanting to ask on a date is the person like perhaps I'm getting this image like as someone being in high school and wanting to ask on a date the prettiest girl, the most handsome guy of the class, and everybody's like, are you crazy? That's not gonna work out. But you're like, yeah, but I want to do that. Getting this very cute situation. It's like you is it perhaps they are themselves afraid of what you're considering. Perhaps it's not true for them, but you staying true to yourself is strength, and that is power, and Spirit is very proud of you, and so am I. So am I, honestly, to decide to stay true to you despite the noise around. That in and of itself is beautiful. And again, it's like there is the reassurance that we have, the reason to why it feels like a risk to be following your knowing, but the reason to why it's coming up to your heart, to your intuition, the reason to why you know that in the first place. How the heck did it come to you? Because you know it's true, and the universe is supporting that. That's why it came to you in the first place. As for the tarot, we got the Three of Wands, the Fool, and the Ace of Pentacles. And that is beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. It's whatever you're considering that feels risky, it's a brand new journey that you're opening up. And I'm hearing some of you saying, like, yeah, I know that this is gonna be a freaking ride. Because again, I feel like we have like many people on this group, and all of you have very different situations that are looking for very different things. But I just had like the fun. I just heard like, yeah, I know that. Thank you. Yes, I know it's gonna be a ride. It's like the Three of Wands is the card of moving towards our goals, just going for it. We've already planned out. That was the Two of Wands. In the Three of Course, we're just going for it, you know, and we have a very precise goal. We know what we want, and we're going for it. The Fool is just the beginning. It's the number 0 card of the major arcana. It's the beginning of a journey. Someone depicted as a baby because it feels foolish, because it does not know. There's this innocence. There is this it feels innocence. It feels innocent. It feels pure. But there's also this admiration, this excitement, this passion for life of a baby who doesn't know and is just discovering life for the first time. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it's just a brand new beginning. Brand new beginning here, especially when it comes to the material. So I just feel like whatever you're considering is blessed. And I know that there may be a lot of fears involved. You're doing awesome. If you feel that this is what you need to do, you need to do it. Otherwise, you'll regret it, and you already know it. And trust me, it's much worse to just go for it and eventually realize that it's just not gonna work out. But at least you've done your best and you have tried it than not even trying it, because of that you are going to be you're going to be regretting it for a while. And but what I'm getting here is, no, it's gonna work out. Whatever you're considering is very likely to work out because you're supported. And even if it doesn't work out the way you were expecting it, it's still gonna work out in your favor. There is this invitation to detach from the end result almost. Whatever you're considering, it's like, you know, it's right for you to do. Perhaps you don't know why. Do it. You will figure out why you needed to do it along the way. Perhaps some of you are considering, again, like, could be as simple as someone being very scared to ask someone on a date, and it's like, perhaps the answer will be no. And it's like, even if it is a no, you will realize that it was in your best interest. It served you well. Perhaps it helped you realize that actually you got some balls. Actually, you're comfortable asking someone. Actually, you're much more confident than what you thought. Perhaps you will realize that actually you're feeling good about yourself. It's like there is a very beautiful reason for you to be inspired to take on this action, to choose to do what you're feeling like you need to do. And I'm not saying that the answer is going to be a negative. What I'm saying is there is a reason to why you're feeling inspired for that, and perhaps you do not see the full extent of it just now. What you need to know is, if it came to your heart, there's a reason. If it wasn't meant for you, it wouldn't have come. You wouldn't be dreaming of it. Okay? So yeah, there's definitely a goal that you're a plan, a course of action that you're feeling so strongly pulled towards that you're very strongly advised and invited to follow, because yet again you're very much supported. And the result of it is what we have here is like the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles. This is just it's just such a beautiful, such a positive combination, I'm not gonna lie. The Ace of Pentacles is just the beginning of a brand new chapter, because a new beginning in the material, to me, the first thing that comes to mind is it's something that will change your schedule. Through you following this course of action, your schedule is changing. It cannot stay the same. Your life is shifting around that. So it's a powerful impact that it's having for the positive, for the best in your life. And the Fool card, it just feels like, yeah, being at the beginning of a new journey with all potentials, it just feels like a reset almost for some of you, as in, we're at the beginning of a new journey, anything is possible, and it's just a matter of, do you know what, I don't know anything about it, let's just admire. Let's just walk calmly, taking all the scenery in, because it's just so beautiful, it's so new, I have no expectations of it, I do not know anything about it, so I'm just gonna take it all in. It just feels like such a, wow, a butterfly, oh my god, a flower, oh my god, another person, wow. It's that kind of energy. It's just so positive, so beautiful, so innocent and so pure, and one that feels very elevated vibrationally, I'm not gonna lie. One that feels very, very, very good. So that's what I'm getting, is like, whatever you're considering, because again, you are all considering, my plan number 3 is something different. So that's why I'm not picking up any specific scenario like I was picking up on with the 2 previous groups. Whenever you're feeling inspired to do it, do it. Straight up. You're not going to regret it. That's all. The opposite, if you don't do it, you know already that you're going to be sad about it. And the universe, yet again, feels like a repeat, but feels necessary to repeat again for the person at the back, wanting to know that it's going to open up a lot of doors. At least a new door, and the very reason to why somehow you felt inspired to take on this action, the reason behind it is not something that you fully understand just yet, and that is okay. Let the magic unfold, honestly, I'm hearing. Just let the magic unfold, and know that you're, whatever is going on, you're safe, you're good to go. Wanting to pull 2 other cards. A third one wanting to come through. Okay, what have I done with my deck? Ooh, there you go. Got 3 cards. I love the colors. Whoa. Like some purple, some pink-ish. Can't grab them. We got Celebrate Your Wins, Your Soul Shines, Feed Your Artists. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's just, they're just so beautiful. It's, yet again, like the energy I'm getting from these 3 cards is the Fool. Again, it feels so pure. Like such a pure heart. Such a bright light emanating from you. It's just, I bet you're a very lovely person. It's like such a beautiful, beautiful energy emanating from you. The pinks and the purples, they refer immediately to me like the connection with the heart, the connection with the divine as well. Because yeah, somehow the divine, you could very well be someone who's kind of connected with the divine, someone who's deeply intuitive, and that's very much why you feel that there's a course of action which is very clear, because you're connected, so you know what is mind, what is not mind. You know when it comes from the heart, you know, you recognize this incentive to act on something, even though it doesn't make sense, even though people around may be freaking out. So that is something. But yeah, just such a beautiful heart that you got. And there's an invitation here, especially if you're feeling in your head and you're feeling afraid at this moment, to just reconnect, just chill out for a moment, doing like a bit of ASMR. I'm feeling like celebrate your wins, being grateful for who you are, the amazing person that you are, because you are an amazing person, and we're so lucky to have you here on this planet with us today. thank you for being you. It's like, can you see how much light emanates from you and how bright you shine and how amazing of a person you are? Do you see how far you've come and all the wins that you had along the way, all the achievements over this past year, 2024? If you're looking at this video as I'm recording it, is like how far you've come and everything you've achieved. That is worth celebrating. Tune into these things. Please don't take this so seriously. The situation I'm hearing is like, it's completely normal, understandable that you're feeling afraid because it feels like a challenge. Yes, it feels like a challenge because it is meant to feel like a challenge. You're going beyond. So it's normal that your mind is like, are you sure? Really? It's normal for fear to come up, but it's like, please don't take it so seriously. There's just this invitation here to say, it's like, yes, you're afraid, it's understandable. Don't take it too seriously, honestly. Focus onto yourself and how bright you shine, how far you've come. Focus on what brings you joy, what charges you up. Here we go, a clear reference to being to arts. So perhaps this is something that you could very well be in like doing right after you finished watching this video, as in doing something that an artistic expression that just helps you connect with yourself in your body. And even if it's not so much about arts, it's like feed your artist. To me is very much like feed yourself. Yeah, what is it that makes you feel charged up? Please focus onto yourself. Bring yourself back to your body, to the present moment, because I feel like you're taking the situation way too seriously. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not serving you for you to take it so seriously. And I'm hearing also part of the reasons to why you are so afraid is because you obviously do not know what's coming ahead of time in 2025. Yeah, I feel that it's like it may not turn out the way you expected it anyways. So it's like, why worrying at this point? That is very, very curious for a reading about love in 2025. I'm not gonna lie. I got caught up into it and we just went with it. But like overall 2025, I didn't pick up too much on like what's going to happen in 2025, but much it just feels like somehow it felt very much relevant for Spirit to be talking about a situation that you're going through right now. So if you felt drawn to not just this part and but another one, perhaps it could be relevant for you to be seeing this other one, because I just feel like we didn't talk so much about your romantic life in the end in this pile. That wasn't necessarily the intention, but somehow this was relevant more than anything. So yeah, if you felt drawn to another pile, perhaps this could be a good sign for you to see that this is what's going on right now for you, perhaps, and there's something else for you to hear. Otherwise, I just feel like this was a message that needed to come out when it comes to love, somehow in some way, shape, or form. So I hope it was beneficial, whatever it is talking about. I really do hope. Thank you so much for sharing space with me. That was a heck of an interesting reading, to say the least. Please let me know down in the comments if it resonated. I'd love to hear about your thoughts on this one, definitely. I'd love to be connecting with you in the readings. Also, please like and subscribe the video. Like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. That would support me a lot. But that being said, I'm so curious to know what this is all about. I really hope it was helpful. Anyways, if I don't have the occasion to tell you that, since like till next time, Happy New Year. Enjoy 2025. I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care. Enjoy your time. Bye. Hey, pal number 4, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're sitting comfortably, lying comfortably, whatever. I hope you're curious about this upcoming year and our today's theme, our love life in 2025. If you chose the Moss Agate, that's gonna be your reading. And we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna start with the oracle cards that we got here, so as to give us like the overall theme of what we can be tuning into, and then we're gonna be bringing up like some tarot cards, some more oracles. And so we got the Elephant Spirit, the Dolphin Spirit. Definitely, like the first thing that comes to mind is healing. And that seems to be like a theme for many of the groups. That could be definitely something in the collective, but like, um, I'm hearing that in 2025, you will notice that the relationships you align with, and not just in romance, and like friendships, co-workers, the people that enter in your life in general, are going to feel very different than what you've been used to, because of the fact that you've learned from the past. You have grown, and you have healed things around relationships, and as such, I'm hearing that, yeah, the people who enter your life are not the kind that you were used to. Perhaps you are the kind of person who are like, yeah, all men are the same, or all women are the same, and you're gonna be you will be clearly being shown this year that no, that's not actually not true, but this is something you've already, a conclusion you've already come to. No, it's not true. Like, no, there are actually amazing people out there because you are here. So there must be other ones, right? It would be quite a gloomy world if you were the only one, huh? um, yeah, there's definitely like lining up with new people, and this and that are true. It just feels like someone who's come to conclusions with a big thing when it comes to their relationships. Perhaps someone who's been stuck for quite some time on trying to understand why in a past relationship the other person behaved a certain way. And finally, they came to a conclusion, they made peace with it, they've learned from it, they've realized that humans are now humans, and by extension, the whole universe is not all black or all white. You know, it's we give it meaning. It's not black or white at all. So, yeah, there's this kind of energy. I'm wanting to pull out the tarot immediately because I'm not getting much more right here, right now from these cards. There's this kind of energy of someone just coming. It feels like someone who's just finished a big step in their healing journey when it comes to relationships, and in 2025 it shows, I'm hearing. Oh yeah, it does. Got the 10 of Cups. Oh yes, it does. Strength card that popped up. Okay. Popped up in the previous group. That's why I'm a little surprised to see here. That's cool. Just one, and that's it. And the 8 of Cups. Huh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There's definitely a bit of a collective thing going on, because this thing I've already discussed a little bit in other groups. I'm not surprised if you felt drawn to other groups like the first or the second one. I feel we're talking about a little bit of similar themes, since to a certain extent. I don't remember if it was the second one especially, but yeah, we definitely got the energy here of I'm literally feeling, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I feel like I'm redoing the same reading I just did half an hour ago. There's definitely something in the collective here, but hey, it doesn't matter, because some of you may not have, like, for some of you, it may be the first or only pile that you're gonna be seeing from this video, so thank you for being here, and not in any other pile. What we got here is the energy of someone who has explored in the past, in past relationships, maybe past romantic relationships, or just nothing romantic at all, maybe like from childhood, a lot of things, okay? But it's like someone who has explored through past relationships, contrast, things they didn't prefer perhaps. Yeah, I'm hearing like behaviors that were not really necessarily very well appreciated and received. And someone who's grown through it, someone who's learned from it, someone who's healed what needed to be healed, seen what needed to be seen, and as such, someone who is just brand new in their state of being, someone who is a new person in a certain way, and as such, someone who's attracting new people in their lives. That's what I'm getting, is expect people you are not used to seeing so much, like new, I'm hearing like new personality traits, kind of, I guess, but just people showing up in ways that you hadn't necessarily been exposed to before, I'm hearing, just because you've released many things, and as such these things just stopped appearing in your life, and when they appear you just don't hold on to them. So at the end of the day, you're just left without these things. And so there's so much room for activity, so much room for new energies, so much for new people to come in. That's what I'm hearing. Is like, for the tarot, we got the Page of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Strength card, and the Eight of Cups. The Page of Swords here, I love the imagery. It just feels like cutting through the brambles, and I'm getting here this energy again. It's like someone embarking on a new journey in a way. It doesn't feel like a new journey to you, but it actually kind of is a new journey. And because you relate to the world in a new way, well, your relationships have a different flavor now, I'm hearing. Simply because you are no longer the same person. You have grown. You have expanded. Simple. But yeah, it's just someone who's not gonna settle for less than, someone who's not gonna settle, who's gonna go back to things that they've already explored. It's like perhaps some people treated you in unfair or unkind manners. You're not gonna go back to that. You've already learned. There's no point in going back. So there's this energy of this unapologetic energy of I'm not gonna settle for less than, and if you don't treat me well with respect, that's totally fine, but I'm not gonna suffer your presence. Okay, we're 8 billions on Earth. If you're not capable of respecting me, that's totally fine, but you're not for me. There's this kind of unapologetic energy of someone who's learned their lessons, who's realized their worth, for one. And for another one, someone who's cut through their illusions of, yeah, like, no, not all people display these qualities. No, it was something within you. You were holding on to people harming you in one way or another. I'm using the term harm very loosely here. But it's not that because that's the whole world that is like that. No, that's not true. And as such, cutting through the illusions and the brambles, you realize that you don't have to settle for less than, because there are people who are nice and kind and loving out there. So there's that. And then boom, straight up the Ten of Cups, which feels a little out of the blue because this is one of the most positive cards in tarot. It's the card of ultimate fulfillment. It's the card, well, on this card we clearly have a representation of marriage, you know, like wedding. So it's like we feel that we're overflowing, that our cup is overflowing. We feel so good, so much so that we're spreading it. We are like, it feels like an ultimate state of completion, of fulfillment, of overflowing. So that's why, for some of you, it could be literal wedding, if that's something that you're looking forward in 2025. So that could definitely be on the menu for those of you who are kind of expecting it or thinking about it. But overall, it's like, it's very fun because like we're talking, oh yeah, we're letting go of the past, you're letting go of the past, and we're learning our lessons, and we're not gonna settle for less than, huh? And boom, Ten of Cups is like, oh my god, that's a big shift. That's a big thing. I feel that in 2025, you are going to be seeing the fruits of you cutting through the brambles. You are going to be seeing the results of your investments, the result of you taking the time to let go of the past, to let go of other people's BS, of just, you know, like things we're no longer interested in, honestly. It's like we're no longer interested in people, on people's mediocrity, on people's immaturity. It's like, that's their lives, they did their best, but we're not here for that, you know. It's like we're growing on for better things, and it shows in 2025 again. I feel like I've already said that in this reading. It shows. It's like the people who come into your life, they're nothing alike. And yeah, in romance, but not only. It's like, it just feels like, yeah, you are building things that you wanted to build all along, but you never really could with the people you had around, because the people you had around were not they were not at your speed. They were not like interested in those things. So yeah, this could be referring, I feel like we've got many different people, many different situations here on pile number 4. So for some of you, it could be a committed relationship if that's what you're looking into. For some of you, it's wedding if that's what you're looking into. Again, it's like some of you are single, some of you are already in relationships. So there are many things, but it's the kind of ultimate fulfillment. So it's like your quote unquote your wildest dreams coming true in one way or another. And I'm hearing also, by the way, is like perhaps some of you may ego is coming through here of just one saying, oh yeah, what I'm looking for is this thing, and that's the thing which is going to be the most fulfilling, and actually it's not, but we're not necessarily being super honest about it. I feel like in 2025 you are going to be finding through your relationships, and it's going to be involving love, but loving relationships are not only romantic, although for those of you who came to this reading for romance, that's definitely on the menu. You're going to be experiencing what feels like ultimate fulfillment at this moment, what feels the most fulfilling today for you. So that's a big thing. I feel that's a huge deal in and of itself, honestly. But that which feels ultimately the most fulfilling may not be the thing that our egos may be thinking about at the moment. Just want to let you know that. But rest assured that it's going to feel good no matter what. Then we got like some two very interesting cards, like the Strength card, the Eight of Cups. The Strength card is here the one who chooses to stop the war. And I feel that, yeah, it's giving a little more, I think in the heart center too. Wow, that goes deep actually. Okay, that one goes deep. Give me a minute for this card alone. It's like all of like half of this reading was about your past and how you let go of it, and I just feel like something which is relevant about mentioning it, it feels relevant for Spirit to be mirroring it, to be telling it to you, although you already know that since that's what you've been doing. But it feels important for you to be hearing it from someone else's mouth. So here I am, I guess. Someone making the choice to put an end to the war, although it would have been much easier to keep on going. These people you have let go of and their behaviors, it could have been very easy to keep on hating them and keep yourself tethered to them in this way, because when you keep on hating someone, when you keep on, we say forgiving, you gotta forgive them. Well, no, the only forgiveness is for yourself. It has nothing to do with them. The thing is, when you keep on being mad at somebody, just throwing out of the window this idea of forgiveness, because anyone who's been on this journey, and you seem to be one of them, will realize at some point that forgiveness is something that comes automatically at some point in your healing journey. It's not something that needs to be focused on. But keeping yourself angry and mad at somebody and hateful, resentful, you keeping yourself in a negative state relative to someone else is literally you keeping yourself tethered to them, because all of a sudden you keep on thinking about them. Wherever their feet go, your gaze goes. It's like you are almost enslaved energetically by them. Why? Because this negative focus that you have towards this person is actually you focusing onto them. So you're not letting go of them. You are tethered to them. And here the Strength card is very much like one who chooses to just give up and chooses simplicity and love over just hatred. Is like, they didn't treat you well. You know what? I don't care. I just want something better for myself, and this person doesn't deserve to be in my life anymore. That's okay, but I'm just cutting them off. I'm not gonna try to make them suffer or something like that, because it feels like you know better. You've given up on trying that. It's like you want to be free, and being free means letting them go, and that is strength. You just let them go. You free yourself. You're no longer a slave of their movements, because you just don't think about them anymore. And that is powerful, and that very much gives a background to why the Ten of Cups, because it feels like, oh yeah, you let it go and poof, magical, the best of the best. Good, you deserve it, but it's very much that. It's like, yeah, you freaking deserve it actually, honey. So congratulations on that, because that took a lot of strength to do. And it shows. Again, it's like your relationships will show it to you. Yeah, that was the right move. And you can be freaking proud about yourself for that one. The Eight of Cups is fun because it gives me two energy. The Eight of Cups is like leaving the nest so as to explore life for yourself, moving on to a new adventure. And it kind of deals with self-exploration, you know. It's like, I'm gonna quit the comfortable, familiar place for me to explore something new and discover more about myself through this adventure. There's a bit of an adventure here, and on one end it feels like, yeah, letting go of a past, removing ourselves from a past situation with a past, it feels like it's very relevant, something that was very heavy for you, like removing, extracting yourself from a situation where we were surrounded with people, with this kind of people we've been talking about all along that we didn't enjoy the presence of. And it felt like a big deal. It felt like leaving something, a comfortable place that we knew was not acting in our best interest, but it was very comfortable nonetheless, you know. So quitting this comfortable place so as to open up to something new, and 2025 is then this new adventure, so to speak. But also, it, to me, it also indicates, like, in this context, exploring new relationships, like exploring relationships in ways that you have been dreaming of but perhaps not have been experiencing so much. Let me rephrase that for the one at the back. It just feels like you have been, throughout this process, you have realized how much love there was in your heart and how much love you wanted to share with the world, and what is the kind of ideal relationships that you desire for yourself today. It may be a committed relationship, it may be a fun relationship, it may just be a relationship for physical intimacy in the bed at night for one night. You do you, honestly, for as long as it's consented. It's like you growing, like, notice, letting go of all of this mess and seeing how much love there is in your heart. It became much more obvious what it is that you want today for yourself. But you have been dreaming a lot about it, but you haven't experienced it yet. In 2025 is the year where you get to experience it. It's like, it's this year, it's the only pile where I have a bit of a timeline, interestingly enough. This year will start off as a bit of a, like, stepping into the unknown kind of situation, because you've just let go of this toxic environment that you were in. And so it feels like, I don't really know where I am, I don't really know where I am going. I'm trusting the guidance in my heart and my intuition, so I don't feel like freaked out or lost or anything, but it's very unfamiliar. And the more this year progresses, very quickly you will start realizing a lot of people coming in, a lot of new energies, because there's letting go of this old environment freed up a lot of room for a lot of new people. And so now all of a sudden there are a lot of new people, a lot of new relationships, and you'll get to experience very fulfilling relationships that you perhaps had only dreamed of so far. But if you were dreaming of them, it's because they were already in your heart. It's because you were already meant for them, and they're coming. So it's beautiful. Creator Alchemy. I like this card, especially in this context. So yeah, it's I just feel like a year for you of self-exploration and just discovering all the wonders in life, and just meeting so many new people, having so many beautiful relationships, and deepening the relationship that you already have. So that is beautiful. Creator Alchemy, you are epic. Creator Alchemy first definitely deals with manifestation, and I'm not talking about like necessarily conscious manifestation, but more as in you have let go of so much, you have grown, you have changed. Who you are, your state of being has changed, your frequency has changed, your signature has cleared out. Naturally, it is law for the universe to reflect it to you. That's why your life is changing. That's why it feels unfamiliar at first. Very quickly, it will feel more and more familiar as you realize that it feels just much more like you. It feels more like home. Whereas before it felt familiar, but it didn't necessarily feel like home. Also, alchemy, like just the word alchemy tells me that you may be meeting people with whom you have a lot of alchemy. Straight up. If you're already in a relationship, there may be a lot of alchemy being brought to the surface this year. It's like, I just felt a lot of excitement, you know, hormones, things like that. So this is something coming through. But yeah, overall, a lot of excitement through your relationships, since that was also, you know, part of the contract. It was kind of the theme for this reading. There's definitely that, but also like the thing the most noticeable is how your life is changing as a whole around this topic of love. You're epic. I just feel like it's both a reminder and just a bit of a glimpse for what's coming up. We don't have. I didn't pick up much on this Ten of Cups and all of this beautiful light and energy. We've talked a lot about what you released, so to speak, but Spirit has stood very elusive about like, okay, but what's coming then? Like the Ten of Cups. That's basically the only thing we had about what's coming. A little bit in the Eight of Cups, but that's it. It's like you're just teasing us, telling that there's so much beautiful thing that's so fulfilling, and then you say nothing. It's kind of the energy I'm getting here. Oh yeah, life is changing and there is so much life, but it's just like Spirit is just like it serves you best today not to know too much somehow. For you not to know because you're still in this transitional energy where you're still like on the final touches of completely letting go of it. I just feel like it's a little too early for you to spoil the surprise, honestly. Like, yeah, there's a lot of emotional fulfillment, a lot of joy, a lot of radiance, a lot of light, a lot of abundance coming your way this year. It's just like it would be a disgrace to somehow give more details. I'm hearing just feels not relevant at this moment. Yes, there is a lot of light and much is opening up for you, much is changing. You won't know more about it though. It feels, come on. It feels rough. No, honestly, yeah, it just feels like somehow it best serves you for you not to know too much about it at this moment. So I'm just gonna leave it there then. But yeah, just for you to know, like, there's a lot for you to be proud of. You are epic, literally. Oh, I'm so lucky to be reading for a person like you. Nah. Thank you so much for having shared space with me today. That was a lovely reading. Very interesting one. Very deep one, too. So, yeah. Very, very cool. Please let me know down in the comments how it went for you. Lots to be discussed about. I'd love to be connecting with you. What are your thoughts? Did it resonate? I hope it was helpful, too, to give you more understanding, more context to what's going on and how this year is going to be unfolded overall, though we didn't have many specifics. So yeah, I really do wish that it made you optimistic and very, yeah, just looking forward this year. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. That would support me a lot. If no one has, if I'm not gonna be able to tell you till relevant, Happy New Year, Happy New 2025. That being said, I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Till then, take care, enjoy, live your best life. Bye.